So, for context, which is also the context I had to very quickly get because again I had no idea. But apparently Sikorski was having some sort of a speech at the Warsaw University for the 80th anniversary of United Nations. And some students organized a protest because of what his, all of his previous stances and actions. Perfect, I'm talking. Can you hear me talking? I'll hydrate later. I don't want to lose my train of thought. But yeah. Stabby, you know the context. I don't know how much you know the context, Giga Chad, but basically Sikorski is not big on, supporting Palestine, right? He has said some really awful things. He is not making, any actions towards breaking Poland's relationship with the state of so-called Israel. Just, just making sure we're all on the same page, right? That guy, not remotely pro-Palestine. And people have been on him for that for forever. That's why I'm blocked on Twitter by him. Right. Because I was pointing out constantly that maybe speak up, maybe don't be a hypocrite. You call out Russia for war crimes all the time. Right? So yeah, 4 years, nothing changed. He's not taking any actions, and he says some awful stuff. So some students on the Warsaw University, when he had a speech there, they decided to show him they're not very happy with him and made a protest. And the Twitter of TVP Info made, a clip about it on Twitter with like a short description, right? And Sikorski retweets that TVP Info tweet. And oh my god, where do I even begin? Okay. Do you guys want me to read it all? Or do you just want me to TLDR it? Because, it's a long one. It's like he could post it as a one-shot fanfic. It's a lot of words. Too bad none of them mean any fucking thing. So, up to you guys. Do you want me to read it or do you want me to TLDR? Which one will be, better for you guys? I could show it on screen as well. I could figure out I have the screenshot saved, so I could just pull it up as a file. But it is in Polish, so only Giga Chad and Perfect would, actually understand. So I don't know if that would help any. I am not seeing any opinion one way or another, so let me just read it and translate it as I read it. My favorite I Suck at Real Life translation. Okay. The ladies protesting, wait, how would you translate raczą? It's so condescending, right? Raczą mylić się. This whole thing is super condescending, but the first sentence, I don't know how to translate it into English so you can hear how condescending he is. Holy shit. Okay, I'll do my best. The ladies protesting are of the have the misinformed opinion, thinking that I quote unquote support a genocide. But it's the exact opposite. Many times, publicly and in talks with the leadership of so-called Israel, I condemned the extensive use of force in the Gaza Strip and the illegal settlements in the West Bank. Furthermore, Poland, by my decision, voted in favor of confirming so-called Israel's necessity as a state, or not shit. How do I speak both languages and can't translate from one to the other? Confirmed their obligations as a state, occupying the territories. It's worth remembering that the tragedy in Gaza has been caused by the brutal attack of Hamas terrorists. I also sincerely hope that the students of the Warsaw University know the difference between terms such as war crime, crime against humanity, and genocide. These definitions can have overlap, but they are not interchangeable. And you can have an honest difference of opinions when it comes to specific instances. Fuck. Oh my, I don't even want to translate this one. Yeah, I know I could have, but like that would require planning, right? That would require foresight. That would require being smart. How long have you been here, Stabby? Okay, last paragraph. Oh, I hate it. I also wonder, or not wonder. I find it curious that the recent massacres in Darfur are not being, you know, protested against, even though more people died there than in Gaza and Ukraine put together. Also worth mentioning are the thousands of Christians being murdered in Nigeria. Okay, that's the whole tweet. That's the whole tweet. Thoughts so far before I tell you my thoughts? I saw that and like I had to do a double and triple and quadruple take because every sentence is worse than the last one. Hi, Papa. After we're done shitting on Sikorsky again, we'll be playing Duet Night Abyss. But for now, I just had to. I had to talk about it because, like, oh, that's such a bad tweet. Okay. First of all, and I mentioned it while I was translating, but that first sentence, again, the whole tweet is very condescending, but that first sentence is pissing me the fuck off. First of all, I find it interesting how he constantly highlights that the protesters were ladies. Like, how does it matter? Like, genuinely, there's still your, what's the word in English, constituents? Like, genuinely, like, they're protesters first and foremost, is what they are. And again, that wording that I couldn't quite translate into English properly. Raczą mylić się Jakobym. Who the fuck says Jakobym? Is this 2025 or 1925? Don't answer that. I know what the political climate looks like right now, so don't answer that. Or, you know. Doesn't matter. So yeah, first of all, condescending as fuck. Like, that guy is on such a high horse, like, genuinely not to do armchair psychology on this guy, but he is such a fucking narcissist. So that's first and foremost. You know, personal dig at him. I'm already blocked by him. What else can he do? I can insult him. But second of all, he's trying to say that because Poland voted in UN's General Assembly against so-called Israel once, that somehow makes him, you know, absolved of everything else he's done and said in regards to what's happening in Palestine. Like, no, first of all, do you know how many times Poland voted against what would be best for Palestine in UN's General Assembly? I don't have the exact numbers. I don't follow it religiously. But, you know, I do follow it somewhat, right? Like, if I know something's up, I'll follow it. The one time Poland voted against so-called Israel does not change all the other votes. And also, it's UN General Assembly. Genuinely, what the fuck do they do? Like, yes, they voted that so-called Israel is supposed to adhere to international law and what it says about the occupiers and occupants, and they're not listening. So, like, how is that even an argument in the first place? Like, they're useless. Like, there is nothing happening after any of the votes. The votes that do matter and would be enforced are the ones in the Security Council, aka the ones where the US keeps vetoing every fucking thing. Second, we're in third paragraph now. He is still, as so-called Israel continues to violate the ceasefire, there's been more than 100 instances of ceasefire violations. And the ceasefire hasn't been going on for that long. So 100 is a very large number. There are so many dead, so many wounded. The aid is still not being let in. Again, there's supposed to be an active ceasefire. The aid is still not being let in. And Mr. Sikorski not only still refuses to call it a genocide, he's arguing about it on Twitter. He is arguing semantics just so he doesn't have to call it a genocide. Well, you know, there's also terms like war crimes and crimes against humanity, blah, blah, blah. You can't, like, confuse the three. Buddy, Read, you're a foreign minister. You should know the definition of genocide. And you should be aware of what's happening. And you should see that, what's happening in that definition. They sound pretty identical, I would say. You know? Like, what the. And then the last paragraph. The last fucking paragraph. The massive whataboutism. Well, but like, why aren't you protesting for Sudan? Why aren't you protesting for Nigeria? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Do we as a country have a massive amount of deals, including military deals, with the RSF? Do we continue to financially, or even like in the first place, but you know what I mean, to financially support the RSF? Like, you know what I mean? Like, he acts as if these people who are protesting for Palestine in Poland and in general don't care about Sudan. But it's like, let me word it properly. He is talking about the protest specifically aimed at him, right? What has a better chance of having any effect? What kind of protest? The one where he actually can take action by severing the ties between Poland and the state of so-called Israel, where he can withdraw military and financial support from so-called Israel, where he can enact sanctions on that state, or a protest in favor of, helping finish the war in Sudan, in which Poland has non-existent involvement in. You know what I mean? Like, they were protesting specifically against Sikorski, right? You know what I mean? And the same goes for Nigeria. Like, they were protesting against him. So why would they be protesting about things he actually genuinely has very little to no control over? And there's very, very little to nothing he can do. While in this instance, he can do so much, right? Like, there is so many things he can do as the foreign minister. Like, does he think people are stupid? Not to mention the, the whole one thing is worse than the other. Like, comparing tragedies, comparing genocides is such a massive asshole move. People are dying anyway. No person should die. No civilians should die. No children should die. No women should die. How are you gonna say? You know what I mean? Yes, the death count is higher. They're both important and they're both massive tragedies. And people have been raising awareness for both and for Congo. Don't forget Congo. But they both shouldn't be happening. So you trying to redirect, like, you can focus on two things at once. People are capable of caring about more things than one. So yeah. 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 That's my read and thoughts on the tweet. I hate this guy so fucking much. And honestly, he is lucky that he already blocked me because you know, I would spam him so much with like hate tweets. I don't tweet a lot and I don't really do drama or anything, but like, holy fucking shit. What was that? Genuinely. Like, every sentence reads worse than the last one. And none of them are making him look better. And I just genuinely don't know, like, if he is just too much of a narcissist to even consider that he might be in the wrong. So this entire tweet is 100% like genuine and sincere. Or if he just thinks that people are stupid and he's trying to use a third grader levels of manipulation. Like, it's been years now that the situation in Gaza has been happening, right? People are way more educated on the subject, are way more attuned to the ways in which people who are pro so-called Israel try to manipulate them. This is like, I don't, wait, can I say that word? Because I know you can't say the Z word on Twitch when it comes to this subject. There's another word I am wondering, because like, if that word is, then I know Hassan uses that word on streams, but like, it's Hassan. Hassan is a bit of a darling baby for Twitch. One of their favorite moneymakers, so just because Hassan says it and gets away with it, I can't know. So, just in case, I'm gonna not talk about that, because it would even be hard to like think about how to talk about it without using the word. But yeah, it reads like it's straight out of something, you know? If you know the topic, you know what I mean. Yeah. Yeah, that's the situation. That's the tweet. Okay, but like, honestly, if he goes on a full-blown meltdown because someone finally decided to protest in his face, I think we should do it more often. Like, clearly, once he can't ignore that people are protesting against him specifically, clearly that frustrates him so much. Like, what do you mean people don't like him? What do you mean people are... It's not bots on Twitter? It's not ChatGPT? There are actual genuine people who dislike him? His ego cannot handle that. Clearly. Oh, I wish he passed by the protest in Krakow after the Freedom Flotilla got intercepted, Cause like the amount of people and the volume at which they were yelling Precz z Sikorskim. If just a couple of students protesting set him off so much, I think that protest, if he like actually witnessed it, I think that would break. I think bro would just quit on the spot, which is exactly, what the people protesting wanted. His ego is so fragile. And it's kind of funny. I mean, again, he blocked a guy on Twitter who had like maybe 5 followers for calling him a hypocrite. It's me, I'm the guy. Anyway, I think that's as much as we can talk about it. I think, it is ultimately just one tweet. Stupid and incredibly frustrating and tone deaf as fuck, but still just a tweet. So,